Hey, what's going on, everybody? In this video, I'm going to be unpacking two Everdrives, one for the Super Nintendo and one for the Sega Genesis. I'm super excited. I've used Everdrives before. I have one for the Nintendo, but now I got one for my 16-bit system. So I'm going to open them up and check them out. All right, here we go. All right, first up, we are going to unbox this one. I mean, the packaging is nothing special, but it gets the job done. So I picked up the Mega Everdrive X3. It was the cheapest one I could get that handled all the games that I wanted it to handle. It takes a micro SD card on the top, and it's red. I thought red looked cool. And for the Super Nintendo, I also got the red. It's actually in the style of the Famicom. Alright, so I have the Super Everdrive. This is the X5. I'm going to go ahead and put this in the Super Nintendo. So this is it's a US console here. So keep in mind that the cartridge will fit, but it is shaped like the Famicom and the European style. But you just have to center it a little bit, press it, turn it on, and there you go. So that's the main folder, ROMs. And like I said, this is about 2 gigabytes, and it covers all the US releases. I have all the Japanese releases. I have translations. I have all different kinds of stuff in here that you can hook it up. All right, so we're just gonna test a game we're all familiar with. We're gonna go with Super Mario World. As you can see, it's instant loading. Looks great. Apologize for any black screen refresh rate. Obviously, I'm using my phone, so I'm not going to be able to adjust that. Looks really good. Now, this isn't going to play a lot of Super FX games. Actually, it's not going to play any of them. So, like Star Fox and Stunt Racers, I think, was another one. And I'm sure there's a couple other games that I can't really remember. But lucky for me, I wasn't really looking for the complete package. I was kind of looking for a more economical one. I don't want to have to buy every single game to be able to play them. So this is actually works out pretty good for me. And I actually have Star Fox, so that's one of the games that's knocked off the list here. But what's also cool is that I can either play just the Japanese games or I can play the translations. And I have a whole bunch of files here. And really, out of all these, the only one I really care about is because I just beat Trials of Mana for the Switch. So I actually have the translated version of, let's see, Second Desetsu 3. So now I can play the original Famicom, well, Super Famicom version in all its glory, which is how I prefer to play. There we go. I'm going to probably start playing some of this tonight. I'm pretty excited about this. So there's a lot of trade-offs when you buy the cheaper Everdrive. So this is the X5, and it's the same thing with the Genesis, the Mega Everdrive, the X3, is you end up losing a lot of extra functionality. But for what I want it for, I just wanted to play games. But just be aware that if you wanted to have save states, in-game menus, obviously compatibility with special chips, and Sega Genesis has a couple too. Also, what else here? There's a bunch of different stuff that it won't have functionality for in the older models, but the highest model, the X7s, will have that, but they usually cost twice as much. So I kind of went in the middle of the road here, and I'm pretty happy with that. So another thing that you pass up on is the save feature. Now this is the Super Nintendo version, so I'm going to test that out right now because I don't remember if the X5 requires you to do a reset before you turn it off in order to actually write to the save file. So what we're going to do to test that real quick is we're just going to go back to Super Mario World. We're going to quick get into the game. There shouldn't be anything saved on there already. See if I could turn this up without. Okay. You see here I got 3 empty slots, so I'm going to go ahead and start one up. Alright, just going to blast through this level. I haven't played this game in a really long time. Hopefully I don't die. Oops. Whoa. There we go. Alright, with the castle beat, now I'm gonna see if it saves by just turning the power off. I don't think it will. I think I need to hit the reset button first. So it's just one of those things. I know you have to do that with the Genesis, but I wasn't sure with the Super Nintendo since I don't have save states either. But I'm pretty sure it has to save to the disk, and that's the way you got to do it. Continue and save. All right. So what I'm gonna do now is I'm gonna turn the power off, turn it back on. Now, if you're familiar with Everdrives, if you hit start, it will play the last game you started. That's the same thing for all the Everdrives. Oh, look at that. It saved it. Okay, cool. I know with the Genesis that people were complaining that they will forget to save. And I know a lot of Genesis games didn't save anyway. But if you're playing some of the RPGs and you turn it off, you lose all your save data because it won't write unless you reset it. So hopefully my reset button works on my Genesis, or I might have a problem. Alright, next up we got the Mega Everdrive X3. Now this is a Model 1 Sega Genesis with the high definition graphics. It's the first time plugging this one in. Turn it on. OS init. Now I didn't show you this on the previous one because I accidentally forgot to record, but usually the first time you use these, it will say settings will reset to default. Press any key to continue. That's normal. You're gonna expect that. Let's see. Where's my controller? So I'm not really familiar with a lot of the Mega Drive and Genesis games, so I don't know which ones have chips in them or not. So I'm just gonna try a couple out. There we go. So first off, I guess we'll go with the basics. Let's try out Sonic 3. And of course there are cheats. There's other things that you can do. I don't use any of that stuff because, like I said, I just use these just to play the games. I don't like to use game genie codes or anything like that. I just like the game. Just give me the game. Okay, so that's Sonic 3. So here's a good example. So with this, I know for sure you have to do a reset in order to save it. So I'm not even really sure how to save and quit in Sonic to even test that out, but it would be helpful to know. So what I'm gonna do, I guess, is just maybe just beat this level and see if it saves afterwards. I don't really remember how that works. And also, besides like just playing these games without save states and stuff like that, like I'm definitely one of those guys who will only play if necessary on a CRT. This is really the nice, like this TV isn't even good, but it looks way better than uh, trying to play this thing on an HD TV. It just does. It just is how it was intended. So that's my preference. I know a lot of other people don't feel that way. But give me my CRT any day. So yeah, so this game won't play Sega CD. I mean, this Everdrive won't play Sega CD. It won't play a lot of the chipped games. 32X games it can play, but you actually have to have the attachment from what I heard of. I don't have an attachment, so I can't test that. By the way, I'm not good at Sonic games. The only Sonic I've ever beaten was the first one. I can get like to the last stages usually, but I can never beat like the final bosses. Alright, so you can't like quit the game, but I'm pretty sure if I were to die, if I were to turn the game off, that it would save. So what I'm gonna do is I'm just gonna turn off the Genesis. Actually, I'm gonna hit the reset button. OS and it, okay. Then I'm gonna turn it off. Okay, so my reset button does work, which is good because of these older Gen 1s definitely had issues with the reset button. Okay, pop it back on. Again, just gonna hit start. Yep, just like I thought, it's gonna load the game back up. It's like a 2-second wait, but really it takes longer than that to grab the cartridge off the shelf. So there we go. So that's how you save. Cool. All right, let's see if Sonic Knuckles works. Yep, cool. Cool, so this is Sonic and Knuckles. Very cool. So we know that works. Alright, next up, I am going to try out a Sega Master System game. I never had the Sega Master System. I had a friend who did. He had like 3 games. I don't even remember what they were. But let's take a look at what they got on the Master System. I got the whole collection here. I know they have a really budget Street Fighter. And I do not like this Sonic game. It's very similar to the Game Gear game, by the way. And if you're curious, you can't play Game Gear games on this. It doesn't work that way. Sounds like a Master System. Alright, so the deal with the Master System, as far as I know, is the Master System had a pause button, I believe, on the actual system. So when you use this and you don't have a Master System controller, which I don't, I'm using like one of these knockoff six button controllers, you can't actually pause the game. If I hit start, nothing happens. And in this case, B and C must be the 2 buttons for the Master System. But the game works, and that's great. It's got some square action on the top and the bottom. I don't know if that's normal or not. I never played a Master System game. Definitely never played one on a Genesis. But I've definitely played this game. It's actually almost exactly the same as the Game Gear one, but the Game Gear, you're zoomed in more, and it's really hard. I used to have it for the Game Gear, and it was impossible. Cool, so we got Master System games. Alright, so I'm going to try another Master System game. Let's see. Looks like there are some translations. Looks like I got a couple translated games. I don't know what they are. These are apparently some homebrew. Apologize if you developed any of those. I got them for free. My bad. I don't know what to tell you. So let's just try, I don't know, Wonder Boy, I guess. Wonder Boy. So basically Adventure Island. Now, is this actually real? Like, they made this game? Because this looks like a knockoff to me. Huh. Well, I guess that's good enough. I'm going to probably stop it here. Alright, that's going to finish up for the Super Everdrive and the Mega Everdrive. Like I mentioned, these are not the best ones you can possibly buy, but if you're just looking to play some games, you're not looking for all that extra stuff like save states and everything else, these things are a really good option. This is the middle of the road option. I think between the two, I paid about 120 bucks. That's tax. I don't think I had to pay for shipping. Maybe I had to pay for shipping. But to me, it was worth it because there's a lot of games that I really want to buy, but I just couldn't afford to buy them separately. The Mega Drive X3, I just got that because it was cheap and it covered the games that I wanted to cover. Sure, I'm a little bummed it doesn't play Sega CD games, but to be honest with you, I'm not really a big fan of Sega CD, so I'm not really missing out on much. I really like the regular Genesis games. They had a lot of them, and a lot of my favorites were never made for the CD or even the 32X. As for the Super Everdrive, of course, the X5 is kind of in the same boat. It doesn't have save states, it doesn't have all that extra stuff, but it does save normally, at least. I don't have to reset the console or do something where if I accidentally forget, I don't save my stuff. And it plays all the regular Super Nintendo games, which I'm super happy about. It doesn't play any of the FX chips or anything like that, and I'm okay with that as well, because it really aren't that many. Most of them I kind of already own, and I have other ways of playing those games, so I'm not really missing out, especially since the price for the X7 is just that it's just a lot more that I didn't really want to spend if I didn't need it. Alright, well that's going to do it for this video. Thanks for watching. If there's a game that you're curious about, you just can't find out whether or not it's going to work on any of these two versions, just leave a comment, and if I see it, I'll take a moment and try it out, because I already got them on here. But just keep in mind, like I said, if it has a special chip in it, it's probably not going to work because these aren't designed to work with those. The newer versions, the X7s, they're supposed to have much better compatibility. But like I said, if you're still curious, let me know and I'll let you know how it goes. Alright, if you like these kind of videos, make sure you comment, you like, and you subscribe, because I'll definitely be pumping out more of these type of videos, especially things that I order that's pretty cool and I know you guys are interested in that. And I'll see you in the next episode.